email a power signature to... Yeah, listen, sometimes we're just gonna say stuff and it's best not to think about it.
Yeah, don't think about it. It's fine.
It's just that... Yeah, we're
No,
just gonna
it's fine. Hey guys, Dennis Mockin here. Thanks for hanging out. Today's Reaction's latest pitch meeting. This is Godzilla vs. Kong, and as I predicted, with the last pitch meeting being Godzilla, figured that was a perfect setup for this pitch meeting. And I just got done watching it. I'm really excited to see what Ryan George has to say about it, because I have some things to say about it. But before we get into it, if you haven't already, please go over and support Screen Rant and Ryan George. I'll leave both those channels along the link to the original video in the description. And if you enjoy what you see your day, mean a world to me if you give that like button some love and subscribe for more daily reactions. Without any further ado, let go.
So, you have a movie for me? Yes, sir, I do. What if Big Monkey punched Big Reptile? Oh, and vice versa? Vice versa, too. Oh. Amazing. So how does this thing play out? Well, during the intro credits, we're going to show all the monsters that Godzilla and Kong have defeated, right? And that it's all been leading up to this big showdown. Oh, so these movies have been like a Titan tournament this whole time. Sure, maybe.
Yeah, I guess.
Cool. So we're going to meet this guy, Bernie, who has a conspiracy theory podcast, right? And he works for this big corporation called Apex. Okay. And so on his podcast, he's like, well, today's the day I'm going to go steal some information from my employers. And the big corporation has no idea that one of their employees is running a full-on podcast about stealing information from them? They don't know. And actually, them having horrible security is going to be a common thing in this movie. Oh, how come? Well, because if they had competent security, that would kind of just slow the movie down, so that's just not going to be a thing at all. Fair enough. Anyway, then for some mysterious reason, Godzilla ends up attacking Apex. Oh, so Bernie was right? Something weird was going on? Exactly. Yep. I think it's important, especially in this day and age, to, put a positive spin on conspiracy theorists online. Really make them into heroes. No. Anyway, so because of the attack, people are like, wait, is Godzilla not our savior anymore? Was he ever the savior? He personally stepped on thousands of people. He's kind of a savior to the people he didn't personally step on. I guess that makes sense. So anyway, we're also gonna see Kong, and he's living on Skull Island under 24-hour observation inside that dome from the Hunger Games. Okay. Yeah. We're gonna find out that all the...
That was the very first thing I thought. I was like, wait a minute, is this some sort of Hunger Games thing we have going on here?
Native humans from Skull Island were killed in a big storm, except for this little deaf girl named Gia, and he has a special bond with her. Oh, that's nice. Yeah, and without anybody knowing, she fully teaches him sign language. How did she secretly teach a giant monkey sign language while it was under constant supervision? Unclear. A very stealthy educator. So then the obviously evil CEO of Apex approaches this guy Nathan Lind, who wrote a book about the Hollow Earth theory. Why is this guy evil? Oh, well, he secretly wants to make a Mecha Godzilla so the humans can defend themselves against Titans. That's actually a pretty reasonable thing to want. Yeah, but he's gonna look really evil while he does it, though. Oh, he is? Yeah, like he does that thing where he drapes a jacket over his shoulders. Oh, only evil people do that.
Only evil.
Exactly. So he wants to send this Nathan guy into the Hollow Earth to find a power source, but they need Kong to guide them. Why? Vague reasons that'll drive the plot forward. Perfect. So they put Kong on this ship, but then Godzilla's gonna attack, because that's what he does, he attacks other Titans all day. Sure, of course, he loves to do that. So they're gonna fight for quite some time, and Godzilla's gonna win. Oh, wow. But just as Godzilla's circling around to finish the job, Nathan's gonna tell this captain guy, hey, shut everything off, let's play dead. Okay. And this guy's like, okay, but this better work. So he's threatening to hurt Nathan if the plan goes wrong and the lizard kills them all. Yeah, if Godzilla kills everybody, Nathan's gonna be in big trouble with this guy. Sounds pretty...
Yeah, totally. He's gonna come back from the dead, resurrect him just to punish him.
Serious? So then they're gonna play dead, and Godzilla's gonna be like, oh, okay, bye. Oh, it worked. It did, but then they're gonna say that as soon as they start moving again, Godzilla's gonna come back and finish the job. So what do they do? Well, we're gonna cut to them later, and they're carrying Kong in this giant net by air. Well, how'd they do that without Godzilla noticing? By being off screen for a little bit. Oh, Godzilla can't see off screen stuff. Exactly. No, so then they head to this Hollow Earth place, and they have to go through this big weird wormhole, and gravity's all messed up down there. It's crazy. Does that not hurt them, the sudden change in gravity?
No,
it doesn't, no. Because you know how in 2014 Godzilla technology was pretty much standard military stuff? Yeah. Well, now just a couple years later, technology is full-on magic. Oh, it is? Yeah, so they have these little magical gravity spaceships that make little blue energy trails. They have tunnels that go from Florida to Hong Kong. Oh, these movies aren't gonna feel connected unexpected at all.
No,
And so they
not
go
at all.
around this hollow Earth place, and Kong feels right at home, and there are a bunch of big monsters there.
Wow, must be pitch black too, I imagine.
No, it's like a beautiful sunny day.
Oh, what's the light source?
Unclear.
Oh, okay.
So then Kong is gonna find a throne, and he's gonna find this big axe that's made from another Godzilla's dorsal plate, and this thing freaking glows radioactive blue.
pretty
Wow.
cool.
So, okay, we said in another movie that the Titans feed off the intense radiation at the center of the Earth, right?
We did, sure.
And that's where all these humans are hanging out. That's right.
So,
Yep.
They gonna be okay?
No.
Yeah, sure.
how?
Yeah, don't worry about it.
Oh, okay,
Nah,
I won't.
that's
So
fine.
anyway,
No.
meanwhile, through the movie, we're going to be checking in with Madison. Remember her from the last movie? She's from the last movie.
She
And
is!
so she teamed up with a friend and that conspiracy guy, and they're just basically going to be doing like their own little episode of Scooby-Doo.
Oh, they are?
Yeah, they're just kind of wandering around Apex, trying to solve a little mystery, encountering...
And here is the point where the bat security comes into play, because they're just running around. No one sees them or stops them or anything whatsoever.
no security whatsoever, and having little to no impact on anything.
Sure, that may as well happen.
And so then back in the Hollow Earth, the Apex people are going to send an energy signature back up to Earth, and they're going to use that to power their Mecha Godzilla.
What, so they email a power signature to...
Yeah, listen, sometimes we're just going to say stuff, and it's best not to think about it.
Yeah,
at
don't
all.
think about it. It's fine.
It's just that, yeah, we're
No,
just going to
no, no, it's
cut
fine.
away to monsters punching each other really quickly, so nobody has any time
Yeah,
to digest
no,
any of the
don't-
mumbo-jumbo we use as explanations.
Is that gonna work? Sure it is.
Yeah.
So anyway, Apex is going to use Ghidorah
Worked on me.
skulls as a supercomputer to make a psionic uplink and control the Mecha Godzilla telepathically.
Okay, but so
And then monsters are gonna punch each other.
Oh.
Yeah, Godzilla senses that Kong is up to something weird, so he
I love that he introduced the thing of, oh, well, don't worry about what's happening here. Here are two creatures fighting, and then lo and behold, here they
blasts
are.
a hole in the earth all the way down to the Hollow Earth area.
What about that weird wormhole section?
Yeah, you blast through that too, I guess. I don't care. Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Yeah. And then Kong climbs up the hole.
Does he have to go through the wormhole again?
No, I'm gonna need you to get all the way off my back about that wormhole. That was several scenes ago. We're
Okay,
done with
all right.
it.
Oh,
My
okay,
bad.
let me get off of that thing.
So then Godzilla and Kong are gonna fight and pretty much destroy Hong Kong.
Oh boy.
Yeah, it's gonna be super intense. They're gonna fight and fight and fight. At a certain point, Godzilla's gonna be like,
What?
And Godzilla's gonna end up defeating King Kong and leaving him for dead.
Oh no.
And meanwhile, that evil CEO guy is gonna be doing like an evil monologue thing, but then Mecha Godzilla's gonna go rogue and crush him.
Oh.
And Bernie's gonna be like, that's unfair. I really wanted to hear the end of that speech.
A man just died in front of his eyes.
Yeah, so he makes a little joke instead
Yeah.
of acting like a human person.
Okay.
Yeah.
So now Mecha Godzilla
Kind of a dick move.
is being controlled by the ghost of Ghidorah or something. I don't care. It's gonna look great.
Sure, I bet.
And Godzilla
Yeah.
could really use Kong's help, so the humans want to stop him from dying.
Oh man, it's gonna be tough for tiny humans
Wait
to
for
do
it.
that.
Actually, it's gonna be,
Gonna be
super,
super
easy.
easy. Barely an inconvenience.
Oh, really? Yeah, Nathan's gonna be like, hey, maybe I could use that magical ship we've been flying around in as a defibrillator on this giant monkey.
Oh wow, okay, so this guy's like pretty experienced with this ship, huh?
He literally just learned it existed.
And he knows how to
Apparently.
use it to restart a giant monkey's heart?
Sure, yeah, I don't care. And now that Kong isn't dead, he and Godzilla can team up against a common threat, which is what you have to do when your movie has versus in the title.
Oh,
Yep.
double teaming a robot is tight.
Oh,
So then they managed to defeat Mecha Godzilla through the power of teamwork.
Wow, wow, wow. Wow.
And so then Godzilla's like, okay, bye. And
Well, it's also, there was another reason why, because they ended up pouring like a little alcohol. One of the kids pour alcohol that the guy was drinking because he thought he was gonna die, so they poured it on that little circuit thing that apparently short-circuited his tail. I don't know.
And Kong goes to live in Hollow Earth, and that's it. We're done.
Wow, really rushing to that ending, huh?
Well, we're done with the punching, so, what's the point?
That makes sense.
And so,
Fair.
yeah, what do you think?
Well, I mean, it's a movie where a giant monkey gets in a fight with a giant reptile, What could go wrong?
Oh dear, oh dear. Godzilla vs. Kong gets review bombed by Snyderverse fans angry with WB. Oh. And funny enough, because they were both released on HBO Max, and I'm sure HBO Max, is just absolutely loving the amount of attention they're getting from both of these movies. So I personally, I really enjoyed the movie. I thought the fight scenes between the two, I thought were pretty great, because as I said in my last pitch meeting reaction, how they tend to have a problem with balancing story with the actual appearances of different monsters, different creatures fighting each other. I thought it was balanced really well because we had a few fight scenes with Godzilla. We saw like basically the creation of Mechagodzilla, which was super weird just because, you know, the kid, the girl, and the guy all ended up in there, and he just sort of, and then one kid that sort of like looks up and sees what it is, and immediately he's like, oh, that's a Mechagodzilla. It's like, how did he know what it was called before he knew what it was called? But yeah, I mean, like I said, the fight scenes were really, really cool. They were really fun to watch. They went on a lot longer than I thought they were going to, and I honestly thought that because whenever stuff like this happens, it's never really a proper 1v1. There's always some outside factors involving, or the fights are too short. I thought the fight between Godzilla and Kong was a decent enough amount, and we actually had to where, you know, even though Kong got a bit of a fight in him, and he was able to knock Godzilla down once, it obviously, you know, Godzilla is the superior monster. And it's always fun to see them sort of like return to Hong Kong, to Japan, basically where, you know, Godzilla was originally created all those years back. And I'll be honest, I can't remember the last like U.S. Godzilla movie, because I know Japan still makes a whole bunch of them. I can't remember the last like U.S. or if there ever was a U.S. made Godzilla movie that had a fight scene that appeared in Japan, so you guys will have to let me know on that one. And I also really, really enjoyed the relationship between the girl and Kong, just because that was kind of their way of sort of humanizing Kong a bit, and showing us that, you know, we can root for Kong, we can really like Kong because of that connection between the girl and Kong, because, you know, if Kong dies, you know, the little girl's gonna be sad, and we don't want the little girl to be sad, right? So I think they did a pretty good job on that. But that will do it for me here. Before I go, though, I'd like to give a huge shout out to all of my $5 and up supporters on Patreon: Marvin Espinoza, Cruising, and Wolver310. Thank you guys so much. And with that being said, comment down below. Let me know, who are you rooting for, Kong or Godzilla? Please leave a like if you enjoyed. Also, if you want to see past reactions I've done to other pitch meetings, got a nice playlist right up there full of videos for you. Share this video, subscribe if you subscribed already, ring notification bell because we put up new videos every single day. And I'll see you guys next time.